All this needs to be pulled out all the way through here. Oh man, it's pretty darn bad though. What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode from Backyard Boys. In this episode, we are going to be working on our Tesla, and we just received a rear door right over there, completely complete, basically, with the glass, handle, belt molding, everything it needs, wiring, no damage whatsoever, right over there. One thing though, I was a little bit scared when I was buying this car, is I thought that quarter panel was aluminum. Luckily, it is not aluminum, and in this episode, we're going to go ahead and do some pulling and seeing how that door fits onto the car, and seeing what needs to be done in order to get this Tesla back into spec. If you guys are new to this channel, go ahead and lightly tap that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to show your support by smashing that like button, and let's get on with this video. First thing we're gonna do is go ahead and put that new door on and just kind of see what the heck is going on. Let's get it done. So, guys, this video may be a little bit long, so grab yourself a cup of tea and enjoy today's video. I'm gonna try and get this quarter panel pulled out into a spot by the end of this episode. I wanna show you guys quickly what the heck is going on over here. It seems like we got the majority of the damage over here, but we do have some damage over here. So this quarter panel, you can see it bends in, like, you know, if you guys have seen the reveal video, then you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. In theory, once this gets pulled out to its spec, this over here should pop right back in, and this is a little bit funny over here, and I don't know exactly what's going on. We'll see. We're gonna get a good pull over here. Main concern here is this thing over here. Also, inside the jam, we got some damage, and look over here. We got some pretty darn, I would say that's pretty scary damage. Look how lucky we got. Look, that is an airbag sensor right over there. It's literally an airbag sensor, I think. Yeah, that looks like an airbag, and nothing blew up. What the heck? Legit super lucky. Let's go ahead and get that red door on here and see how it lines up over here. Hopefully that this B pillar didn't get damaged at all. And let's go from there. So here's the moment of truth over here. Hopefully this all lines up. I don't want to be pulling this B pillar. Okay, can't really tell until this is closed. Okay, that striker needs to go down. And look at that. Wow. Wow, that is actually pretty even. I think all we need is some minor adjustments. Dude, what the heck? That door looks scary, scary. Okay, take a look back here. So this here is pretty flush. Then we got some nice damage here. All this needs to be pulled out all the way through here. You can see what the heck is going on here. Oh, dude, I'm just hoping that this stuff comes out. I honestly don't even know what to expect. Pretty sure this door won't even close because the striker is so far in there. It won't even, oh, that's it, closed. But look at that gap, you know, like, that's ridiculous. Look at that. So, I don't know. Let's get this thing chained down from under. I mean, we don't really need to chain it down, just get it. Speaking of, how the heck are we gonna chain this thing down? Dude, it's all flat under there. It's literally just flat. See if you can come take a look from here. Look at that. It's literally a flat belly pan. The whole entire thing is just flat. So I gotta find something to get some traction on. Probably maybe just chain the tires down to the frame, like a transporting wig, you know, and then get it. Because that quarter panel spot over there, it shouldn't be that rough. It's not really like a frame, so it shouldn't be that rough. It should be pretty soft. It should go pretty darn good. We also did get a little spot puller. Somewhere around the shop here, we can weld on little things over here and get a clamp on here and pull out. I'm gonna go ahead and change and catch you guys here in a little bit. Start doing some frame. Okay, so take a look up over here. You see that cracked seam sealer and stuff, and then you see this kink. What we got to do is get that kink out. I was actually very surprised that with that slide hammer I was able to get this out decently enough to basically looking like the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a little 1x2 or whatever you want to call this piece right here and just tap it and see what it does. While that's gonna happen, I'm gonna probably just put some pressure on here with my hand, and science of it should make it work. Let's get it done. Well, as you guys just saw over there, we basically got this rear section here pulled out, and it was pretty darn easy. So basically what happens is this inner structural kind of bends. It's kind of nice because on the outside we actually didn't have any significant damage besides a dent right here, and then little funny high spots over here, which we're gonna fix once we get that front section pulled out. This right here is nice enough for me to know that I can get it perfect. with, you know, body or with mud and whatnot, with glaze, body filler and stuff like that. But this lines up really nice, no longer has this kind of, you know, indent inside there. Right now we're gonna go ahead and transfer to this over here. I'm gonna knock all this down with metal, or just knock down this edge with to metal, sorry. And then I'm gonna weld a couple of little tabs onto here, grab it with my frame machine, and while I'm pulling, I'm gonna hit this side out with my reverse hammer and see what that does. And also what I'm gonna be doing is hammering it from the inside, trying to get everything into spec. Let's give it a shot. So here we got a little stud welder, and what I'm gonna do with this is actually use these pieces here. I'm gonna weld these to the car. They go inside here, and then it gets welded onto the car. And then I'm gonna put like 5 or 10 or 15 or however much I can fit in there, and then clamp all these together and use this as a pulling tab. I wanna do this because if I weld onto it, oftentimes when you do that, when you're pulling, you can rip through the quarter panel. And with this, it's a little bit safer. So let's give it a shot. Alright guys, well this is going to be it for tonight. I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow. I want to give you guys a quick update on what the heck is going on. This area here is not coming out how I'm wanting it. We have more damage on the inside of the frame over here. I went ahead and pulled all this stuff out already. Pulled this thing out, and then this area here. I know it's ugly, it has holes, but I'm gonna go ahead and return it back to stock. Tomorrow morning what we're gonna do is actually put on a little tab here. I'm gonna weld under and get this thing pulled out, make sure everything is looking nice and neat. I'm not gonna leave this quarter panel off without it looking completely OEM and sealed up from rust, and just make it as perfect and as clean as possible. With all that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right guys, it is the next morning here, and we're gonna go ahead and cover up the whole interior with this right here, so welding blanket. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and weld on a tab and give it some good pulls. We do need this section about from here all the way down through about there pulled out. I can show you guys right now with the gap. So gap up top is pretty flush. Well, just where this body line is. Here you go. It's pretty flush, how it should be. There she is. But as you guys can see, going lower, it's opened up pretty darn big. Go ahead and put a welding tab right at this spot here, get it pulled out and start working with it, seeing what we can do. Well guys, as you saw earlier, what I was explaining is that we were welding, pulling tabs and pulling this quarter panel out. I got the quarter panel into spec enough to where I like it, enough to where the rest, we're gonna get it, what's it called? With this right here, this spot puller. We're gonna go ahead and knock out all the low spots, the high spots. There's something funny going on over here. We do have some damage over here, and then initially the damage over here. The fun part is gonna be inside here. When the door was hit, it kind of just pushed everything in there, so I went ahead and pulled this out. Not a lot of stuff was filmed simply because it's not really anything interesting. We filmed what we could that was interesting, and the rest of the stuff was kind of like repetitive work. So everything's now pulled out how it should be. Here's the door closing how it should, opens up, closes how it should. Gap here is nice, gap down here is nice, gap up over here is nice. Everything's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking down the quarter panel with an 80 gray or something to get it to bare metal so I can fix this funny stuff over here, and then we can start working on this piece over here and down here. So stay tuned for all that. We're gonna do all the metal work, and catch you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, I think it is time to give you guys an update on what the heck is going on. We've been busting and we got a lot of work done. This area back here is basically ready for glaze. You can see the high spots, I knocked them back in. This spot here is all fixed up as well. Put it on charger, might as well charge it while we're working on it, right? This area here, I'm starting to build up this little body, or the gap here. That I don't really need a build up, I just need to get it evened out. Because when we were pulling with tabs, it's kind of got a little funny stuff. Look at this though. This is something that's really interesting for me. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell on camera. Maybe you can get the light on it. But there's a dirt nib in the factory paint. There's a bunch of them actually in this quarter panel. And I looked everywhere around the quarter panel and I cannot see any signs of it being painted besides the original paint. It's funny because I looked in the other quarter panel and there's dirt nibs. So it's kind of interesting. Never seen a dirt nib from factory paint. Up here in the fender, we got it all glazed out. This is basically ready to knock down with some 120, finish off with a 180, and then prime. But yeah, everything's looking nice and neat. I'm very, very happy with everything. I want to show you guys the inside of the door jamb because, man, this is some hard work here, I'm telling you. So the jamb here, I'm gonna be doing this at the very end. Once I get this gap nice and even, I'm gonna go ahead and start finishing off the jamb with some body filler. We do have a little bit more area right here that needs to be fixed, but everything is lining up pretty darn good. I'm surprised. I'm actually very surprised. This was one of those quarter panels that was just harder than we expected. But it is what it is. It's part of the game. Let's continue working, and our goal is to get everything ready for primer by the end of this video. So let's get it done. Alright, well, first things first is the interior is not masked off. Yes, I know that's a big downside, but we're gonna get this thing completely cleaned up, so don't even stress about any of this stuff right here. Oh man, it's pretty darn bad though. Yes, I know, but it was really, really hard to get it masked off. Think about it. I'm always opening that front door, this rear door, the quarter panel, the trunk lid to hit from the inside out, looking at the gaps on the other side, seeing how the door closed on the other side. Anyways, went ahead and prepped this side over here, or this inside over here, this jamb. I'm gonna go ahead and put some Bondo filler on here, some body filler, make this nice and neat. And then once I get this whole entire inside piece done, I'm gonna go ahead and use some glaze and get this outside piece finished up. This piece here is finished, and then the piece over here is finished as well. So yeah, you can tell that there's literally barely any body filler because we got metal showing, but once we get primer on this, you guys will see that it's all perfect. Whew, I am very, very, very exhausted, but we got to get this thing done and painted ASAP. So we're gonna continue working, getting this thing done. I mean, it was really hard to record, or it's really hard to record here with the GoPro kind of lapsing or anything, because I'm standing right over here when I'm working and there's no really place to put the GoPro unless we put it inside the car. Should have thought of that earlier. Anyways, let's continue working. Alright, so while this over here is drying, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this rear bumper, see what the heck is going on over here, because this bumper is getting painted as well. Hopefully I can get it all out with a simple DA and maybe use an 80 in the beginning. It's not too bad. Hopefully it should come right out. Let's get it done. Alright, so as you guys can see here, the jam is just about complete. It is ready for primer. Went ahead and put the striker on because we're going to be doing our last part on the outside of the door over here. Gap is looking pretty. This way it's looking like it's lining up pretty darn good as well. Pretty perfect everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and knock this all down, make sure it's nice and perfect, and then we're ready for primer. Crazy amount of work. Back here, it's finished as well. That right there is ready for primer. Heated it up and it fell right into there, so it's nice. Alright guys, well everything is mudded out to a point where we are ready for primer. And this is going to be the end of the episode, so let's just go ahead and walk through everything once again. This over here I finished off with a 180. I did the body line here with the 320, or the, what's it called, the jam. And then the body line here with the 320 as well. So the striker is currently on, so that way I was setting gaps, but I'm going to go ahead and pull that off when I add that primer. Everything's nice and neat. I'm very happy to where it is. I worked last night till about 5 a.m. trying to get this thing busted out ASAP. This piece over here is ready for primer as well. Just showed you guys all of this a little second ago. But with all that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying the rebuild series on the Model 3. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support on this channel. If you guys do want to support this channel, I do have a Patreon link down below. I got some merch, and just follow my Instagram. That'll be awesome. Thank you so much for all the love. Peace out.